Hi everybody. In the last video on this unity in diversity, we came to know about those spiritual values. After that, our cultural unity is further exemplified, shown by the temples of South and of Khajuraho. If we see the temples of South, particularly Tamil Nadu and all, and Khajuraho, the caves of Ajanta and Ellora, which are shining examples of India's proficiency in sculpture and architecture. Our music has come to enjoy worldwide popularity. Indian classical music, like the Indian dance, is built on the concept of ragas and talas. Each raga is regulated appropriate to a certain time of the day or the night. So certainly, as you know, even though we don't have much knowledge about music and all, a few songs we only enjoy in the morning, and a few songs we only enjoy in the evening, and a few some other songs or some music we enjoy only during afternoon, but not the other way. Why? Because as they are dependent on those ragas and talas, the deeper knowledge, so those musicians understood was certain ragas and talas, they are suitable to a particular time of the day. They are believed to be about 250 ragas in common use in the north as well as in the south. In the north and south, so they have 250 common ragas. In the modern times, people like Ravi Shankar, that is Pandit Ravi Shankar, sitarist, have taken Indian music to the west. These Indian musicians have taken Indian music to the west, and they did their best to bridge the cultural gap between the east and the west. Music to the west, and they bridged the gap between the music of the east and the west. Other significant features of India's cultural unity are the variety, color, and the emotional richness of its dances. Kuchipudi, Bharatanatyam, Kathakali, Odissi, Manipuri, like many classical dances, they show the richness of this country. How diverse in its dances and all. The country abounds in tribal dances. Apart from these classical dances, the country is very rich in tribal dances, old dances as well as classical dances of great virtuosity. Throughout India, dance is regarded not merely as an accompaniment to social intercourse, but also as a mode of aesthetic expression and spiritual realization. Simply, dance is not a mode of social interaction or social intercourse. It is a mode of spiritual realization and aesthetic expression. Kalatmakata, aesthetics means. So, all those people, dancers who dedicated their lives to those classical dances, so whenever they say, we may not be able to understand, because they realize the spirit, or spiritually they got that realization, or they understand this concept of that holiness of God and all through their dances and all. We may not be able to understand, but certainly through dance, these great dances and all, they work towards that spiritual realization and aesthetic expression. The great symbol of dance is Shiva, that is the cosmic dancer depicted in sculpture and poetry as Nataraja. In sculpture and poetry, this great dancer master of the cosmos, that is Lord Shiva, is depicted as Nataraja. Similarly, the classical theatre in India, classical dances in India has a history of more than 2000 years. It is not 100 or 200 years, it is more than 2000 years old history Indian classical dances has. So, it was performed in palaces and temples. Initially, these dances in those days, they were performed in the palaces and temples. The classical plays combined music and dance. The classical plays, dramas, they combined music and dance. Tragedy was and is still discouraged. What does it mean? Nobody would come to those concerts and all to feel sad and all. That's why tragedy was and is and may not be, won't be a part of this plays and all. That doesn't mean that this element, this emotion or this element called tragedy cannot be shown through those dances very well. It can be shown just like any other emotion. Tragedy was and is still discouraged, otherwise the range of themes covered is wide through those dances. Through those dances, all those other emotions can be shown and depicted. Equally, the tragedy also, but as it gives a it make people a bit pessimistic and feel sad and all. That's why this tragedy was disgraced, has been disgraced, and is disgraced. Maybe will be disgraced also. Okay. Otherwise, the possibility of expressing wide range of themes is very wide. And it is this strand of cultural unity running through the country that we are heir to. So it is to this very rich cultural heritage that is a common thread that is running through the garland of this 130 crore flowers called Indians. That common thread, that is our very rich cultural heritage that is bringing us together. So that is the common thread. The way all those flowers cannot be together without that thread. Here, without this unity, this diverse country cannot gain that strength and wealth. No doubt, okay, this thread is very strong. Okay. It is this strand cultural unity running through the country that we are heir to. To such very rich cultural heritage, we are heir to, and to which people in the West are increasingly turning now. The Western people are slowly turning towards this very rich Indian culture, okay, strengthened India and Indian way of life. It is up to the younger generation to uphold this torch of cultural unity for the rest of the world to see. So it is the moral responsibility of the younger generation to hold the torch of this cultural, rich cultural heritage, so that the world could see in the light of that torch called cultural heritage. And no doubt, okay, not that we are forcing them, it is because of that bright light, okay, wanting to see, they themselves would come and see the Indian way of life. In what way they themselves would be enriched by this Indian way of life. That is the moral responsibility of this younger generation, the writer says. Follow and emulate, copy, and not get dazed by the superficial prosperity and material achievements of the West. At the same time, the danger is, okay, we have the torchlight burning very brightly, but more brightly that blinding light is, okay, so coming from the materially rich West, but certainly that light is very temporary, and we should not be blinded by that blinding light called material richness. Okay. Instead of being blinded by that material richness of the West, the moral responsibility of the younger generation of this country is to make the torch of India's rich cultural heritage burn more brightly, because in that more bright light, because this bright light has a permanence in its nature, whereas that blinding light, no doubt, it would blind us, and such blinding things would not be having long life. In order to be enjoying the Indian way of life, instead of being blinded by this materialistic richness of that West, Indian youth, the writer is asking us, should hold this torch, okay, which is burning brightly, if possible make it burn more brightly in order to hand it over to the next generation, because forever we won't be, and so that this torch being burned more brightly could be handed over to the next generation. So West, where man has set foot on the moon, okay, in his quest for the space travel, but finds himself isolated in his own society and community. Unfortunately, man knows how to set his foot on the on the moon, and how to explore the planet and how to explore the universe. But unfortunately, even today also, okay, he doesn't know how to walk, okay, so peacefully and lovingly with the fellow human being on the planet Earth. So to solve this problem, the moral responsibility of the Indian youth is to hold this brightly burning torch called, okay, rich cultural heritage, so that the eminently desirable goal of achieving that unity which in turn would strengthen the country, which in turn would become a role model to the rest of the world, could be achieved. Thank you so much. I hope you have enjoyed all these themes. With this 10th class syllabus, those 6 themes, okay, have come to an end. Started with the personality development and ended with the national diversity. Once again, I request why the lessons are placed in that level. What is that? Personality development, wit and humor, human relations, okay, national diversity, films and theatre, and national and diversity. Thank you so much. Take care.